Hi, I'm Beverly Holden, and I've been sharing my lessons that I've learned since leaving the church and beginning my journey with spirituality. And today I want to talk about perception. When I was in the church, we observed a number of holy days, and one of those days was the Passover. We would wash each other's feet, and we were told to make sure we prepared properly before we partook of that ceremony to make sure that we were in a lowly or a humble state of mind. We were often reminded that we were sinners, um, and that it was important not to be puffed up and vain. And that came up to me this week when I was thinking about self-love. So I've been reminded a number of times that I need to love myself more. And I know many of us uh, are struggling with that. I've talked to so many people who said, yeah, me too, me too. Why is it so hard to love ourselves? And so I had to address that, um, address untruths. Because remember, with our emotional guidance system, if we're believing something that makes us feel bad, it's not true. And I realized my perception of me was making me feel bad. So let me use the example of comparison. When I compare myself to someone else and I feel like I'm not as good as, or I'm not good enough, or I worry, am I doing enough? We all have those kind of thoughts. A cloud's hanging over our head and we we just worry about, are we enough? Are we worthy? You know the drill. So as a Course in Miracles students, we're reminded oftentimes that we create our reality. And that has to do with our thoughts and our beliefs, with our perception, right? I perceive myself based on what my beliefs are. If I perceive myself as being less than, I'm going to suffer and feel bad because I'm believing something that's not true. But there's more to it than that. It's not just a matter of my perception. I was reminded that it's a choice. I have the choice to choose love, love myself, see myself as a God being, as a perfect, innocent being, or I have the choice to believe the absence of love, to believe that I'm less than, not as good as, be judgmental. It's really a choice. Nobody's making me feel that way. I'm choosing to. But not only that, what came up for me that hit me between the eyes is that I read a passage that said, I perceive the way that I do because it's what I want to perceive. What? Wow. I thought, well, no, I want to perceive myself as a God being. I want to love myself. Well, no, I don't, or I would. That's just the truth of it. I think about the example that Jesus gives us. Jesus says, I am the way. He doesn't apologize for, so, oh, yeah, shucks, yeah, I did this, but, you know, it's not that big a deal or that important. He has no qualms with speaking the truth. And there's nothing wrong with being truthful about who we are and what we are. And so I had to do some soul searching this week, and okay, it's time for me to perceive differently. It's time for me to choose how I perceive myself differently because that's what I want. I want to see my divinity. I want to see that I'm a sunbeam of the sun, a spark of God. I want to love myself, embrace myself, and believe with my whole being and my whole heart that I am a child of God, holy, innocent, made of love, from love, and for love. And that's just the truth of it. I hope this has helped you too. Please join me next week. Thank you.